Okay, it's been a long time since I've done one of these, but hello Louise, hello Richard. Hope you're both well. Um, I sent across a couple of screenshots to you earlier today, um, and I've spoken to Richard today, and we agreed that a screencast may also benefit you when working through the website. So here it is. Um, so basically, what I've done, I've started off. As you can see, I've opened up the home page of the new website. And in another tab, I have got my back end. So we've got front end here, back end there. So I'll be just sort of switching between these two tabs and hoping to explain some stuff that'll make it a bit easier for you to manage the website. So basically, we'll start with the home page. And as you can see, we've got a lot of different images and different areas of text. And I just want you to be sure that where that sort of is in relation to the back end. So if we start at the top and we go into the back end of the site, now the home page, obviously being a page, can be accessed by going to the pages here in the top left. So now we see all the pages that are on the website, and the one that we want to look at is the home page. So we'll go into the home page. And now we see all the fields. There's a few of them. But all these fields relate to something that you see on the front end here. Now I'm going to give you a clearer idea of what goes where and how the layout actually works. So the title is pretty straightforward. That's home page. That doesn't show on the front end at all. That's just for reference in the back end. So home page, obviously we would call home. The top panel. So the top panel refers to this blue panel at the top here with Mickey Mouse. So welcome to our Disney Dream Villa, and the text beneath it corresponds to what is in these boxes here. So welcome to our Disney Villas, and there is the caption there. So just for argument's sake, if I put the letter S at the end there, and then I submit those changes, always got to submit the changes if you want them to save. So we save that. We can refresh now on the home page, and there's my S. So a very basic example of how changing something in the back end here can have an effect on the front end here. So if we put that back to how it was, because you only have one villa as far as I'm aware. So we'll move down, and we'll also move down on this page as well, because the next area is this here that I've highlighted, and this is the page introduction. So that there is the introduction paragraph here. So this text here corresponds to that there. Pretty straightforward so far. So then if we move down again, we've got the carousel slider. Now the carousel slider, as you can guess, relates to this. We can add pictures in here. Now the pictures in here will need to be, a certain orientation, a specific size we would recommend. I think when I spoke to you last on the phone, we said that, images shouldn't be over a certain size, because sometimes it can cause the website to just fall over completely. If you're uploading huge image files, then it can have a very, very negative effect on the website. So ideally, keep the image sizes down and keep the orientation to, landscape-ish. Try not to upload any sort of long, tall, thin images, because it's going to have an effect on the design elements of the site. So the pictures that have gone in at the moment are all, similar kind of orientation. has a few nice ones in there. And so where this relates to the back end, as we've just explained, is the carousel slider. So these are the images here that you see on the front end. As you can see, they're different shapes, and I'm sure they're different file sizes as well. But what it will do is they are all pretty much landscape orientation. And what it does on the front end is that it'll crop it as best it can, and size it accordingly, because obviously we don't want this block here to be shifting to different sizes, because it wouldn't look very good at all. So we restrain it to a certain width and height, and then we tell it to crop the image as best it can. So putting landscape images in this space here is probably the best way of going about it, really. So we have our images here, and the caption, as you can see, comes beneath each image. And as you can see, you've already put all these in, which is great. If you wanted to add another one, then you can always just click the add row there, and then you can add another image and another caption. I don't think there's a limit on there. Maybe a limit of maybe 8 to 10 pictures, I would say. So moving on, the next area in the back end that we have is text box 1 and text block 2. So the way that this works is that this section here that contains the introduction, which we've covered, the carousel, and text box 1 and text block 2. Now the way the design of the website works is that I've set it up to be a dual column layout. So as you can see, if this is text block 1, we can see that it ends on 2016, as it does there. So text box 1 will just pop up beneath the carousel, and then text block 2 will always be in this kind of right-hand column, if you like. If we think of this as a 2-column layout, then text block 2 will always be on the right-hand side. And as you can see, you'll be spoiled for choice. You'll be spoiled for choice. So that's how those two slot in. Excuse me. Now, this is where things get a little different, in that this testimonial panel can't be controlled via here. It will show on the home page, but it can't be controlled through here. So I will show you how to do that now. As you can see, it's showing testimonials, and I'm sure you've got a whole bunch of awesome testimonials that you'd want to put in. So hopefully I can show you how to do that now. So at the moment, there's only 2 in there, and these are 2 that I think that I put in during the build phase. Just a couple of test entries, if you like. As you can see, quote 2 and quote 3, that would be somebody's name in reality. So where I've added these, we're just going to come off this page for just a second, but we'll be returning here shortly, is where we've gone to pages. In order to come here, we would go to content, and just for the time being, we want to edit. So we've got different things in here, but the one we want is testimonials. So if we click on there, and now we can see quote 3 and quote 2, which I've just highlighted on the front end. So this is the page that we would come to if we want to edit those quotes. So we'll leave those as they are for now. But what we can do, as well as edit, we can also publish. Edit is if common sense is if you want to edit something that you've already published, and you publish something fresh, something new. So if we wanted to publish a new testimonial, it's just a case of going to content, publish, and click on testimonials. So now what you're presented with is a title, URL title you can disregard, and the quote. So the title corresponds to who is actually giving the testimonial. So in this case, if we say that I'm giving the testimonial, and in quotes, had a great time in Orlando, Canada is much colder. So if I submit that now, remember always to submit to save, then that tells us that it's been published. So now, if I refresh the home page, you'll notice straight away that those 2 dots there have become 3 dots. And that's because my quote has popped into this slider here. Oops, there it is. So any testimonials that you want to put in, you just do it via this method. You content, publish, a testimonial. You put the name of who's giving the quote. You put the quote itself. You submit, and it will appear in this blue bar here. It's as easy as that. There's nothing else you have to do. If you want to get rid of a testimonial that maybe you don't want anymore, maybe it's an outdated one, you would go to Content, Edit Testimonial, because we don't want to publish a new one. We want to edit one that's already been published. So if we go to Edit Testimonials, if we just click on the right hand side here to select the one that I've just put in, from the drop down here where it says Edit Selected, we want to Delete Selected, and we've selected mine. So we submit that. Are you sure you want to delete? Yeah, let's delete. So now on the front end again, if we refresh, back to 2. So I've now created my testimonial and I've deleted it. So now hopefully that's a little bit more clear on how you can add, different quotes and things like that, because it is very, very straightforward. The final part of the homepage are these 4 boxes. Now these 4 boxes are a constant throughout the whole site. They'll appear on, for example, the About the Villa, they'll appear on the Contact Us page and things like that, but they are controlled through the home page. So let me show you how that works. So we're here now, but we want to go back to Pages, where we originally started. And if we go back into the home page, we've already covered the top panel, the introduction, the carousel slider, the text blocks, but now at the bottom we have the box display. So again, these boxes here correspond to these boxes here, and it's the same protocol as it was before, in that the images that you see here, this landscape sort of orientation, is basically it's pre-sized and it will crop as best you can. So as you can see, the captions and the titles and the links can all be changed by you, and they correspond to what shows in these boxes. And what shows in these boxes will show on every other page of the site. So they can be changed, but keep in mind that when you change them, they will change on the other pages. So, I think they're fine as they are. The pictures in there could probably maybe, change every so often. But that basically covers the home page. And what I'll do is I'll publish this. I'll get this off to you, this video, and I'll also do a video on the site pages and how they work. So I will be back soon. I hope this has helped anyway. And I'll go ahead and publish the second video and get that across to you. Okay, thanks.